What's up, y'all? Grand rising to everybody. What's up? We are about to get into it, man. Okay, because look, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Y'all know I always got a story to tell. But I got knocked off my feet a little bit this month. I ain't gonna front a little bit. I took a step back because I was questioning myself a little bit. But today, I woke up and I've been having this on my mind, even with the stuff I experienced and things of that nature. I took a step back and I was just like, you know what? This ain't it. But the more I got deeper into this month, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to finish these last 2 weeks of August with some videos anyways. No matter what anybody got to say or feel about me doing what I do. Because at the end of the day, like I always tell y'all, I'm here to learn. I'm here to see what he's saying to me and hold myself accountable. And one thing we about to get into is the importance of God's statutes and ordinance. Okay, I want to say another word, but that's what it is. Statutes and ordinance. I was very stagnant in it, but I'm glad I read it because this morning I realized that I have been slipping. I'm still following in the same things from before and fighting with my flesh to actually realize what's going on and what is important. And honestly, just letting the things around me control me and take me away from something that's obviously ringing in my mind every day to do. So we about to get into it. And we about to listen to the words that come out today. So I hope y'all ready to get into it. Let's get into it. I had to write it down real quick on that little break, but so we're going to get into basically what statutes and ordinance are when it comes to God. Decrees, requirements, or basically boundaries set by God. Judgment instructs us in what to do in a situation, and commandments are orders or charges given to be followed. I googled what are God's statutes and ordinance, and he has many of them, but what Google gave me was the ones that I feel like everybody should know. But if you don't, your girl got you. Of course, thou shalt not have a god before God, which means you should not be worshiping anybody okay, other than God. He should be your only focus. Thou shalt not have idols. And those idols are the ones that you are putting before God. Like the idols in the music industry, the idols on TikTok, the idols on YouTube. You know, those people that you probably watching and praising and being like, oh my God, their life, I want that. Like, that's an idol. It's okay to look at somebody and be like, I enjoy what they do. You know what I'm saying? But always take it back to God. That's how I see when it comes to idols. Like, it's cool to like something, but you should never want to mimic or let them be the one to give you direction, because you never know who they're getting their direction from. So yeah, of course, never say the Lord's name in vain. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I was always taught that. Like, if I say, oh my gosh, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know, my aunt or my grandma would be like, don't be saying the Lord's name in vain unless you really need him. Do you need him right now? I'm like, I'm just bored. Don't be saying his name unless you really calling out for him and you really need him, because yeah, he right there. He gonna come and answer exactly what you did. Remember the Sabbath day and to always keep it holy. Now, me, I don't know when the Sabbath day is. I feel like it's either on Saturday. Maybe some people make it on Sunday. But I also think it's on Wednesday. I don't know. I heard different days before. So I'm not sure what it is. Or people declare their Sabbath day to be on that day, and they just truly like dedicate that day to God. Like, I know when I see a lot of Jewish people, they live around here, and they usually walk every Saturday. They're not using their cars. I see them walking around with their families and stuff, and that's like clockwork. It's never a day on Saturday if I'm not driving in the neighborhood a lot of them live in, that they're not walking on Saturday. So that's their day to give back and to do that for him. Look it up for yourself, and I would do the same. But on the day that you choose to make your Sabbath day, that could be the day where you just dedicate the time with God, figure out, what he asks of you, and, keep that going with your life. Honor thou mother and father. Woo! Nah, it ain't hard, but, it can be challenging. I could give it that, but I feel like that one right there is where you gotta humble yourself a lot. You know what I'm saying? I feel like for me, that's the challenge in that right there. To humble myself when it comes to my parents. Because though I may have went through my own life, I've been through my own experiences, my parents have too. And sometimes you feel like, oh, they don't know, but sometimes they do. But I understand what God is asking and why this is important, because, no matter what path you have with your mother or father, how I see it, and some people may not agree with it, because at the end of the day, not everybody has a great relationship with their parents. It is very, 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 very hard in certain situations to honor the people that may not even sit right in your life. Or even still, if you do have a great relationship with them, it still puts you in a humbling place, because these are the people that he assigned you to in your life. How you have to humble yourself is just like, I'm really taking it in the perspective of just like what was talked about in the chapter. Okay? Because he was in Ezekiel 20, he was basically telling the people, like, your elders have done some things that basically I was not proud of, and those same things that they carried on and did, it resurfaced back into the new generation. Like, that's just me giving a summary of it. Again, always read it for yourself. But, that's just a quick spark notes of it. Like, he was really expressing that the things that our ancestors, our last generation, the things that they have done that weren't good in the eye of God, those same patterns can lead to the next generation and be instilled in us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have a parent that's on drugs, and you may feel like, why do I gotta honor them? You know what I'm saying? They weren't there in my life. They didn't do nothing for me. They decided to do that versus actually take care of me. Trigger warning for anybody that's ever been in this situation. But I keep hearing it and I want to share it. But even I heard stories, even in a book of Joyce Meyer's, and even stories before reading Joyce Meyer's story that she dealt with. But it's been situations even where maybe even a parent touched their child inappropriately, or just those things that will make you already just be like, no, I cannot honor I cannot honor somebody that has put me through this. I cannot honor my mother that let my father walk into my bedroom. Not saying it was me, but but somebody's story is like that, I cannot honor my mother for letting my father walk into my bedroom and touch on me when she knew that. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes that is I don't know what the word is, but it's just like in Joyce Meyer's story. That same situation happened to her, where I think her mother left and she was left with her father that was touching on her. And she had to work through that when she was walking with God. She had to forgive her mother for doing that. Forgive her father for doing that to her. You know what I'm saying? Because she had to eventually take care of them, care for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, we go through the craziest storms, and sometimes those people that brought us into this world or were assigned to us in this life could also be the reason for our downfalls. But all of this is just a test, because at the end of the day, we don't understand, like we said last month, we don't understand why things go the way they go. We don't understand why we were put in the families that we were put into, put in the homes that we were put into. But God knew exactly what was going on and why he did it. He knew you before the womb. He knew your story. He created your story. But was this story going to make or break you? Are you going to let the trauma continue in your family? All I know is when I read her story, when I read Joyce's story, I felt like, oh no, I couldn't forgive my parents for none of the stuff that she went through. But the thing is that she still had to learn to love them, no matter how broken they were. And she had to forgive them so she can also forgive herself. Those opened up wounds for her that probably stopped her from loving herself, probably put her through a lot of journeys that people don't know about, accepted a lot of things from strangers that she just was like, I just don't care. And when you're down like that, you really put yourself through some dark moments that people don't like to talk about. People like to hide and pretend they never happened, but guess what? They happen and they're in you now. Like, sometimes you have to heal from that. You have to go back to your old situations and learn how to just say, I'm sorry that you went through that, and I'm even more sorry that I had to be a victim in that. But today I am going to find a way to learn how to forgive you, because once I forgive you, then I can forgive myself and let myself know that I am loved. I don't have to be I don't have to be the person that was down and naive and whatever feelings, in those type of situations. I don't have to be that person. And I am sorry for anybody that did that to you and made you feel like it was okay to years later do it to me. Whatever the situation is, you know. Some things are just hard. But you have to learn how to just give them grace and say, like, it's okay. But it stops here. And that's how you break those generational curses. By realizing whatever the situation is. Whether you went through something like Joyce Myers did. Your parents was on drugs and they weren't there for you. Your parents weren't there at all for you. And other people had to raise you. You know, whatever the situation is that could put harm in honoring your mother and your father, you just have to go up to them. Ask about their life, you know. Or ask people that may know of them very well and ask about their life. And have grace, you know, have grace in why they just couldn't. Because it don't start with just you. It didn't start with Joyce mother leaving and her dad doing that to her. You know what I'm saying? Somebody did that to her father. Whatever Joyce mama was going through, she seen it happen herself and felt like this is the only way that I can make it through this situation. That I don't have to feel guilty. That I know that the person I made my daughter with is also abusing my daughter. So the best way I can rest is if I leave and realize it ain't happening. Because somebody did that to her in her life. They left so they won't have to realize things are happening. So they don't have to take accountability for the things that's going wrong. So they don't have to confront the elephant in the room. That's why. And it's just like, we can't be mad at nobody. But wherever it instilled from in the beginning from our ancestors, you know, you have to find grace. You have to find that humbleness inside you enough to pray, first of all, for your mother and father, whatever the situation is. And even if you guys are good, have a good relationship with them, you know, still pray for them, because you never know what their story is. And even if you do, pray that they don't trickle back into that bad place and feel whatever they feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but you have to honor them, because there's things, especially, I know for my mom's generation, they like to be strong. They don't like to think back. Oh, get over it. It's in the past. But the thing is, it's just like, I know it's in the past, but sometimes those things that you think don't linger no more spew out of you. The things that you think that people don't see spew out of you. So yeah, take that, okay? You know, go back to God with it, you know, because that was everywhere. But that one really sat with me, because I really wanted to give an example about, like, you know, for just the people that, you know, really struggle with that, you know. Because I heard a lot of stories that's just like that, and it don't sit well with me. But, you know, it took me back to that book, and I'm going to try to put it up somewhere so y'all can read her story. But, like, it really did not sit with me when I read that. But she also, while she was going on her journey to love God, she was told that she had to, you know, she had to figure out a way to forgive them so she can forgive herself. Okay, right back into it. Of course, thou shalt not murder. That's the obvious, y'all. Please don't. We're not even going to get into that, but read the definition of murder. I do want to put that out there. Like, it's just always keep a dictionary on you. Matter of fact, download the app. It's very helpful. But, you know, it's many definitions of that word. But, of course, the obvious, you know, do not purposely put anybody in harm. You know, always figure out another way, because there is another way where both people can go home. Of course, thou shalt not commit adultery. And I kind of took that as like, oh, in marriage, but as well as don't purposely commit yourself to somebody that's already committed. Like, because people do say out here like, oh, well, he ain't got no ring on his finger, so he really single. No, he ain't. Okay? Like, you don't just meet somebody and put a ring on their finger by Tuesday and you met them on Sunday. Like, that just isn't realistic in how it works. If you know somebody is trying to walk down the path to get to know them, to eventually commit themselves and create a covenant with one another, you should not be talking to this man or this woman, because at the end of the day, they're occupied and doing something with somebody else. And why I say that, we all then been in situations where we may not have known, or some people know, but some people find out later that they were purposely put in a situationship. Okay? And we know what happens. You start messing with this person, you start caring about this person, and then all of a sudden things start coming out. You get a random follow on Instagram. Now somebody popping up on, like, it's too much drama in that. It's too much drama. Okay? And it could lead to murder. It can lead to idolizing somebody else's life. Or why he over there all the time? He always buying that girl something. He ain't never bought me nothing. He ain't never a Birkin. He ain't never done that for me. It's just already putting things in a crazy situation. That's why you should not mess with somebody that's already committed in something else. You don't know what they got going on. They may be going through some rough patches, but at the end of the day, you don't know if this man really love his rough patches or is truly trying to get out of it. That's just something that just needs to be between them and the person they made a promise with. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get yourself wrapped up in things that aren't available to you, that aren't going to serve you at the end of the day. Especially when they're married, because now you truly made a promise. I don't care what anybody says, you made a promise to God. You made a promise. This other person was not there. Ain't nobody witnessed this person in that promise. Okay? This person it's just bad juju, y'all. This person is now in y'all union. You already not following one boundary that God told you. Don't mess with nobody else outside of this. Period. You shouldn't have made this promise with me. You should have just kept it me and you, God and yourself. But no, you said that you wanted to bring this person in. Now it's all three of us. But you out here lying to us and doing what you want. You need to turn around and repent. What is going on here? Next, thou shalt not steal. Okay? And that's the obvious. Don't steal. God is watching you. I really hate that. I really hate when people steal. And let me just say, I just stole two things in my life. Okay? When I was a kid, I stole a little lip gloss on accident because it was in my pocket. And when I was in my early 20s, I did steal a dress. Okay? And it's just like that. Like, don't steal. Because at the end of the day, the lessons and the karma that I dealt with after that were not worthy. It was minor, but it wasn't worth stealing, because I don't even know where that lip gloss is. And when I got home and realized it was in my pocket, I heard the police coming down the street and I started hiding. I was scared. And then when I stole the dress, guess what? It ended up ripping. So that's what I get. You know what I'm saying? So don't steal. But also, don't listen to society, because we was on that train of, I steal your man. Sis, bro, whoever. Don't do it. Okay? Because how you get it is how you gonna lose it. Okay? It's not even no point. Okay? Because you gonna get karma. Karma knows your address, your name, and what you did, and it's coming straight after you. Period. There's no escaping karma. If it don't happen today, it may happen 2 years from now. And you ain't gonna be prepared for it, nor do you want to deal with it. So you might as well keep that one right here. Don't do it. Thou shalt not bear false witness to or against your neighbors. Now, when I read the definition of bear, it was many different definitions, but I want to say that it's basically saying, like, thou shalt not carry false witnesses against your neighbor. And I'm just picking it up as, like, something's telling me basically assumptions, like, or people that gossip, you know? They're gossiping, you know, and you're talking about somebody, then you tell the next person about these things that you're gossiping about that you don't know to be true. You don't know to be real, but you're just saying it. The gossiping and, you know, because everybody loves a little drama, you know, and he said, she said stuff can go around real fast and be flipped just like the game of telephone real fast. I get it. But if you don't know things to be true, and if you haven't gone to the person to actually say, hey, you know, can I get to know you? Or can I, you know, whatever. If you don't know the things to be factual, you shouldn't be saying nothing, nor should you be saying nothing to the next person about it. Because at the end of the day, if somebody was to flip in and do that to you, spreading lies, spreading rumors about your life, about your experiences, and sharing it with people, for them to sit there and try to act like they know you, I mean, it shouldn't even matter, because at the end of the day, you should confidently, I can't even say, you should know your own story and know your own experiences, and never let anybody walk into your life and tell you about you, because at the end of the day, you are the only person that went through it. You are the person that survived it. And if it ain't coming out the horse's mouth, I don't want to hear about it, honestly. I really don't. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody except the person that truly went through it. Because then I can understand it for myself, versus people sitting around not having nothing to do and talk about you because they have nothing else to talk about, and want people to join on that bandwagon so they can continue to talk about you and the things they don't know about, but make it into something bigger to make their selves feel better and you to feel small. There's no point. And the last one that's on here is, thou shalt not covet, which means to yearn, to have the possession of, or to have. I feel like, again, situations where you just wanting something so bad to the point where maybe you would even do anything to get it. I can see where it can line up to being very bad, because again, you don't know the true cost of having what you feel like may be worthy. Okay? Because let me tell you, I had a crush on somebody, okay? And I wanted this person so bad, you guys, like, okay? Like, I was definitely in the state of mind of yearning for this person, like wanting them. Oh my God. Excuse me, but for real. And, you know, after a while, I had to ask myself, like, yes, this person may be attractive. Yes, this person may put a smile on my face. But truly, I don't know who this person is. You know what I'm saying? To want them that bad in my life. You know, I could be truly just lusting over this person. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what do I really want? What do I want? Do I just want the satisfaction of saying, like, I have them? Do I want the satisfaction of just being, like, able to have them in a certain way? You have to realize, if you love something, you got to let it go. And if it comes back, that's how you know. But when you have a strong grip on something and it's just blocked, you got to understand that that door is blocked. That door is locked. Because it truly isn't even supposed to be in your life in the first place. It's probably not even good for you. So you keep on forcing yourself in, you gonna find out why you was yearning in the first place. You gonna find out that it was never meant for you. And then there goes a whole new battle that you have to go through and conquer. You know? Because I feel like we all been there. We all been to a point where we want something so bad. We wanted that job so bad. We wanted this so bad. We wanted to go to this place so bad. To the point where we forced it. And then in the midst of it, maybe starting regretting. Like, I wanted this so bad. And I got it. And here is what I'm getting out of it. This is not what I imagined, and potential will have you messed up. Fantasy will have you messed up. Them rose-tinted glasses will have you wanting to take them off and be like, this is what I was missing this whole time. I thought I was happy. No, you were settling. You were settling. You wasn't realizing what was truly going on, why I was blocking it from you, why I'm telling you, you shouldn't even be, you should walk away from this feeling in the first place. Because you're not realizing what it really is. You're not seeing it. After all of that, I just want to say one thing that I wrote down. When we carry on the disobedience of our past and let it become our future, it's hard to get rid of it because it's instilled in us and the ones that are watching us, which could break away our relationship with God. So, like, I don't know what y'all dealt with in your family. I don't know what generational curses are in your family. I don't know what things you have dealt with. But there's a lot of things that need to stop before things get worse. Like, the cycle of molestation and abuse, you know, when somebody is going through that, not everybody will trickle down and do the same thing, but at the same time, there's still those demons within that person that they have to either learn how to fight so they can be better for the next, or sometimes they hold on to it and it spews out of them. Or drug abuse, you know what I'm saying? Like the story that they told about, there was 2 sons and they had a father, even though this is not drugs, but they had a father that was an alcoholic. And when the 2 sons grew up, the first son also became an alcoholic, but the second son has never even touched a drink in his life. You know what I'm saying? That first son seen that, and seen his father as the example, seen how his father handled situations, and all of those things that he watched his fathers do, they're now instilled in him, and he thinks that's the same way that I can handle my problems, by this bottle, you know? But the other son realized, my dad is a mess. He always comes home drunk, whatever. I don't want to be like that. I don't want things to be that bad where I have to go get a drink and I'm calling people on the phone to come pick me up at 5 something in the morning because I'm too drunk to get up. I'm too drunk to go to the bathroom, so I just laid here in my piss. I don't know, but that's real. you have to try to find that way to turn back to God, and you have to make yourself aware of different things going on in your life that line up with the examples I was giving to you guys. You know, how does the marriage look in your family? Is there marriage in your family? How does the family unit look in your family? You know, are you guys just making babies, or are you guys actually building unions so then your children can see these examples and build on even stronger unions for your future and head on? You know what I'm saying? Are you educating your children? Who do your children go to when they have problems? Who is the example you tell them to go to when they're having problems? And like things like that, you know. And my question for you guys this week is, how can you ensure that we are aligning our lives with God's statutes and ordinance in a meaningful way? And I said, first of all, learn what God's statutes and ordinance are and read to know for yourself, of course. Then you can ask yourself, how can I apply this in my everyday experience? What can I do every day to make sure I am the example of what God wants of me? You know? And it truly just comes back to the challenges every day that is put up against you. You know? One night I did not have no money. I did, but I didn't want to spend any money. I took my baby to go get some pizza. And this man that was outside in a wheelchair, you know, he followed us into the pizza shop and came up to me and he was like, "Can I have that pizza?" Like, and I'm looking at him like, bro, did you not see me just buy this pizza for me and my son? But you know what? I heard that in my mind, but I also heard, give him the pizza. And I gave him that pizza. And when I drove home, I seen him at the light, sitting there with his wheelchair, smashing on that pizza. You know what I'm saying? And I went back in there and I bought another one for me and my baby. But at the end of the day, my son seen that and he was about to cry like, "You gave me the pizza." But he also seen me give him the pizza, then buy ourselves another one. And I told him, like, I want you to remember that. And him seeing that, and I pray that one day it will dawn on him and he'll remember that never act too big or be so, I don't even know, honorary over the littlest things. You know what I'm saying? Because I was at first being a little bit in my ego, like, how dare he ask me after I just bought this pizza to give him the pizza? Like, who is this man? Like, you know, and a little bit even being ignorant, but being honest, like, I'm supposed to feel bad because of what? You know, like, that was my thoughts on it. Like, I'm supposed to feel bad for what? Because you're asking me, because maybe you're portraying that you can't afford it. I don't know. But I'm glad that I just listened to my second thought versus being ignorant. You know, because even though I didn't want to spend it again, I had the money to spend it again. You know, it wasn't going to do no harm to do that. You know, and even after that, I did get blessed, you know. And I wasn't doing it to be blessed, but it was just like when I really needed something. And I wasn't even asking for what I received. It literally just like I went to the store, got what I needed, and the person in front of me was just like, you know, that's all you getting? And like, yeah, come on, put it with my stuff. I'll buy it for you. That was nice, because they did not have to do that. But again, like, it was a situation where it was just like, you just never know. So I hope this was good for y'all. And of course, I'll see y'all next week. Okay, I won't let nobody stop me from doing what I'm doing, because I really hope that this helps. It's all for the motivation, and then of course to put God in it. But you know, I hope you guys enjoy these. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I just really want to let y'all know that God loves you guys, and no matter what, make change and be the change in somebody's life. So peace.